All right, so what we're doing is we're breaking down, two or three things that I feel are like weaknesses in players' games that they need to make sure that they're aware of so they can grow in those areas. And then next time we do a video, we'll find two or three things more. By the end of summer, you're a completely different player. So we'll start off with Cam. Cam's right here on this play. So Cam, when a ball is shot in the corner, you have two options, to crash or to get back. And since everybody on this play, we're running tower, is below the free throw line, you should probably just get back. All right. So this court awareness is what I want you to do because in transition defense, this is where you got to grow. You got to be thinking, where should I be? Because right now we have five guys below the second hash. You should be sprinting back. And since you're not, it's a long rebound, and now we're off to the races, and we got to try to catch them. And this is when we start putting ourselves in a position to get fouls, for them to get layups. We end up with a turnover right here just because, I mean, frankly, we're just better than this team. When we play the really good teams, that's a layup or a dunk on the other end. So transition. All right, and y'all have heard me say this time and time again, hey, most mistakes at any level are made from free throw line to free throw line. All right, especially the youth level. So the ball is shot. We start picking up our man. But the problem is, Cam, you're not seeing ball and man. So since you don't see both, they just throw it and they're already on a fast break just because of your positioning. We don't want to be in a position like this where we're on the side of a guy. We want to be in front of them to make them shoot over our heads. But because you weren't seeing ball and man, you weren't deep enough to stop the long pass. So we don't want to put ourselves in that position to have to make a play defensively. All right, so here we press up, we get a steal. All right, now, Cam, we already have Will and DJ up ahead to pressure the ball. We don't need a third person to come and trap. So you got to stay deep and make sure if they do get a trap, you're an interceptor for who they're going to throw it to. But you get below this guy, and now they throw it up past all three of us. All right. So you got to be the guy back there so DJ and Will can do their job. So as a result, again, court awareness, they shoot a three. But again, they're in a much better position than us to get offensive rebounds, opportunities. And it's all because we let them throw this advance and pass right here. So we need to know why we're in the situation we're in. This is called no man's land. You and DJ are in literally the same spot. All right, so we gotta make sure we're reading the whole game and making sure we balance the floor so teams because teams really struggle against scoring in the half court against us. But in transition, everybody's good. All right, and this is the one you just gotta get better at because this is the easiest one. You're at the top of the key. We're supposed to be running probably Phoenix or 14, but regardless, the point guard's at the top, and you're running point in this situation. So to put yourself below the free throw line, you can't do that. So if Blaze looks and sees you, he needs to get back. So now we got literally everybody crashing, and the shooter who shot it from below the free throw line is the guy who's asked to get back, and that's just not going to happen. So now it inevitably bounces over everybody's head, and now we're in this situation. So again, if we can make teams score against our half court defense, 95% of the time we're going to be in good shape. But we can't have these brain lapses in terms of transition defense. All right, so in the transition defense, we'll stop there, but just know those are your habits. What you're looking to do, especially this season as young players, is you want your habits to be the correct things. And right now, your habits are to crash for the rebounds no matter what. Because in the stands you'll hear "go rebound," and right now you got to read the game and know when to do it. So let's move on to like turnovers, and we'll start off with the pick and roll because I want you to see that because your weakness with your left hand, when you're on the right side of the floor coming off a screen, it's a position where I'm like, okay, well, I don't want Cam coming off those screens yet. And this is why, and this is what you got to grow at. You have to turn your shoulders to throw a pass. So right now, Stebbins is below this guy. He's going to roll open if you could keep it in your left hand and throw it. But since you got to bring it to your right hand, it's a deflection and a turnover. And this possession is no different. If uh, if we throw it, Desmond is open if you keep it in your left hand. But again, we got to go to our right hand and we got to get it to our right side in order to throw the pass. And because of this, now the angle you got to throw it at is just the hole is just too small. So it's just tough to throw that perfect pass when if you throw it with your left, you can throw it sooner where there's more space. All right. And just keep in mind, like you got to know that on this side you're limited because the left hand isn't as strong. And really, to be honest, it don't take a whole lot. You just got to be able to take three strong dribbles downhill with your left hand in order to be a threat. Now, the skill side of it, what passes you can make, what finishes you can make, that's different. But right now, just throw a left hand, be able to throw a left-handed pass. And since you're on this side, you're a much less threat than when you're on this side. So now we go. We get it. We got to turn our shoulders to throw that pass, and then that's just the errant pass. But I just want you to see what your habits are. If you're on that side, and a lot of kids go their whole career not knowing that they have to turn their shoulders. You're learning it right now, so make sure you're doing something about it. All right, and these are just some of the just simple turnovers you want to get rid of. Because if you clean up your turnovers, it's going to make you way more valuable. Part of it is the patience. Like you see a guy open, but you got to be patient enough to wait one more second for him to finish flashing. You telegraphed it, so not just one or two, but all three guys know you're throwing it there. So it really has no chance. So you got to be able to time and wait till he finishes his cut, or say, you know what, he's not open, and swing it and live fight another day. All right, and here's something I want you to recognize that you can't do. All right, you throw the ball away with a turnover, but we're gonna fast forward to the next time there's a dead ball. And immediately you think just because there's a sub that you're coming out. Look at your body language. We got to fix body language first. And then you realize, like, oh, I'm not even the guy coming out. So it was never you just because you turned it over. I want to give you a chance to play through your mistakes, but your body language got to get better in situations like that. Just come out, ask me, hey, is there a reason I'm coming out so I can correct it? And if not, you sit your butt down. If you do, then I'll correct it. Yeah, that's the first thing we want to do is, make sure we can regulate emotions. That's the only way you're going to be at your best all the time. But look, here, at no point are you retreating when you're in trouble. You're coming down and then you back the guy in until you go into this is the coffin corner. Against a stronger, better team, you would be trapped as soon as you cross the half court. So this doesn't equate to a turnover in this game, but just know that's a bad habit to cross the half court line without having a plan. All right, and all these videos I'm putting, so one day you're gonna be able to look back and be like, man, I remember when this is tough for me. So right now, a lot of this stuff could be a little frustrating because you're turning it over. But once you start working on your touch and put the time in, Dez is open, you gotta throw it a little higher so he doesn't get a hand on it. But when you're in pick and roll, you want to be stronger at, like that one, you were on the left side, so you didn't have to turn your shoulders if you notice. So you had the best chance to make the play. Now you just got to make sure you throw it with the right touch as you're seeing the guy rolling. All right, and we've talked about this one helping up the court when you're at the back of the 13. And this is perfect clip because on this first one you stay deep. So then when they throw it, you're there to guard them. And then on the very next play, the guy drives and you help up the court. Remember, this is a shot we give up. With all those bodies around him, let him shoot that pull-up midi. But I know this guy's going to make this layup. So, like I said, there's more plays than that. I tell you all the time, don't help up the court because then they'll hit the guys below you. But you fix those couple things, you'll be all right. All right. All right. So, next person up is Alec. I want you to see like just some of these plays, and a lot of it's just court awareness. And that's why I always tell you to watch film because film is only what's going to teach you some of these, especially like a play like this. So right now, they throw the ball to you. This guy is guarding you. As you dribble up, you know that he doesn't even see DJ. So if you just keep dribbling, that's one of those plays where if you dribble up, he stays guarding you, throw it to DJ to the corner, he'll be wide open. But that's what I mean about court awareness is like, oh, this guy, even if you hit DJ now, he's wide open. But you've already released the ball because you're not thinking about the possibility of plays that could happen. So now let's fast forward a little bit in this play. So now we're running Phoenix, and before DJ even finishes his flash, you've already thrown the ball. So remember, the reason I'm showing this because Lonzy told you so many times on the bench, like, hey, you got to wait for the flash before you actually throw it. Now you see how DJ's holding the ball a little bit longer for you to get all the way there. So now we can hit the bottom guy or the middle guy. You got to hold it a little bit longer. All right, so here's another hot potato now. There's Lonzy. And he's already told you about 3 times, don't throw it before the flasher finishes. So Will is coming. And the reason Darren's not looking for the ball is because he knows the flash hasn't happened yet. So we throw it and we throw it away. And of course, as soon as the camera pans over, Alonzi is standing up, getting on you about throwing too early. So make sure you hold that ball and let the play finish developing. All right, so this is also court awareness just on the defensive side. So right now you're forcing left like you should. Y'all end up switching, so you're guarding somebody else. And so there's nothing said. You could tell between you and Blaze, but in the middle of the play, you've decided to just switch and guard this guy. So now you're behind him, and there's the opportunity for them to throw it inside and get a bucket. And you got to keep in mind, these are during it's nip and tuck, 14-12. We don't want to give them any opportunity to catch us or anything like that. So you got to stay disciplined on what your role is, especially in defensive possession. And here's a rule: never assume. So if Blaze didn't call a switch or you didn't call a switch, don't assume that y'all are gonna switch. I thought this was really good for you. We get a transition play. Will throws it up ahead to you, and you're balanced enough to pump fake, let him fly by you, and then go up for the bucket. I know stuff like that seems simple, but most players are so off balance that they're not able to let a guy fly by them. They got to jump up and shoot. So as good as a smaller player, you're getting better at that. But now I need you to be like really consistent at being patient, especially in the paint. All right, and the last thing that you want to do, because I want all of y'all competing. I want y'all to compete for minutes, from starting spots, because as you grow, you'll get the spot. I want it to be a very competitive environment. Hey, the harder I work, the more I get. So, like in your situation, make sure you're doing the little things. Like you can't keep forgetting the plays. Like right here, you're supposed to cut because we have a guy in the corner, and then Stedman is like, hey, you got to cut so we can run the play. So then you have to go. So you can't forget that. All right, and this play's no different. Right here, we got Darren in the corner. You're here. Remember, you're in a situation where you're supposed to cut. You forget the play, so you can't continuously forget the play, because if I'm in the sidelines in the fourth quarter, I'm like, hey, I got to drop this play. Who's gonna remember it? All right, so just make sure you can do those little things just like that, because that matters. The other thing is, like, stay out of the coffin corner as much as possible. I don't really see a reason to rip baseline because he's not overplaying you. So make sure that's a read, because now you don't, and also don't dribble it. I would just pick it up and get it out the corner, because if they were a stronger team or they were us, they'd be over here trapping you right now, because that sideline and that baseline is an extra defender. So just make sure you can do those small things there. All right, so next up is Will. So Will, like I said, you get to the basket, you get your rebound. Even here, I want you to have better court awareness. Like even when you come out, you got to know that guys are still going to be pursuing. So you have quite a few plays like this where I think if you were more focused and thinking about where players are, that you would save a possession like this a lot easier and it wouldn't get deflected. And another thing is, I think you could cause even more damage than you already do. I already know you can score the ball. Like right here, there is like when he goes under, especially since we hadn't been shooting it great all day, you don't need off the dribble three. All you need to do is dribble and make a second guy guard you. All right. And again, I know this is choice. Like, hey, do I want to take this shot? But right now, what we need is a really wide open shot, because we had too many empty possessions, in my opinion. And then you set up for a shot. But if you drive, if this guy helps up, you could drop it off to Cam. And if this guy drops on top of Cam, then you could kick it out to Blaze. So remember, this play is called Tornado. If you keep attacking and this guy helps you kick the DJ. So I want you to be able to read all those things so you could create those plays. Because just the very next play, I'll tell you to attack and get a paint touch, and let's look what happens. So this is the very next play. And it's just like your goal is, you don't have to prove if you can score. I think everybody's gonna know that every game you play. Can you make people better, like the guys around you? So this is a perfect example, knowing you could do that. Get in the paint. Um, I think the ball should go to Blaze immediately, but because you get multiple people having to stop you, we throw it out, and then that's a standstill catch and shoot three. We could eat off that all day. All right, but you're the one who got the paint touch to create all this. Yeah, so like I said, on those previous plays, when I'm saying court awareness, I'm saying can you play a play ahead mentally and start seeing the dominoes fall as, hey, if I get to this next level, who has to help, who's open, and so on. Now, this is the defensive way to get it. Once you get the ball, you anticipate, which is good, but you got to know that the guy turned it over from the corner. A behind the back dribble is not one of the dribbles that you want to do. All right, that's what I'm talking about court awareness, and knowing where people might be coming from when you have the ball and when you're at a standstill. So know the difference. When you're in attack mode, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to really worry about anybody. But when you're just taking care of the ball in open court and all five players aren't in front of your eyes, you have to feel where those other players are. All right, and this is one of those plays that I was talking about. If like right here, we're running double, we got you off of a stagger screen, you read the curl. Soon as you drive and this guy's momentum turns from DJ and helps, kick it. Wide open three. So the reason he's not able to shoot is because now you're tucking the ball instead of passing it after you attract all this attention. So here's the problem. This is the hard work. Get multiple guys to guard you. Now you shovel it out. There's no shot for DJ. So now we're just kind of dribbling. And so what should have been a wide open shot isn't one. So again, making guys more efficient is going to be a job that I want to be on you about. Now, keep in mind, like I said, your score. I don't want to take any of that away from you. I just want to show you plays that, like, you're like, okay, I could take the shot, but eventually I need to know that you taking the shot is the decision you're making because I feel hot or, I got it going, and not that that's all you see. So right now, excellent screen by Cam. He rolls below his guy. If you stay looking at the rim, you could throw it below him to Cam. Do you have the skill set to get it to this guy right here for a layup? Is really going to be what you want to know. Can I or can I do? Because one of the things I told a lot of good players in the past, I was like, hey, look, I know you can score and be good. Can you be the top player on the court without scoring? That really defines a great player. All right, and this play is no different. I think that was a great skip pass to put you in a closeout situation. But when you cross step, can you give him a layup? Even though you made a really difficult shot right here. Make sure you have the eyes to see. All right, and I like that you keep getting better and better at running the top. You're right in between, you get him in a speed dribble. So now what I need you to do is start anticipating. Speed dribble, Blaze make sure he goes middle. So right now your left hand needs to be ready to tap the ball right to DJ or Desmond. That's what you need to be thinking because he has to dribble with his right hand because Blaze is on the left side. So let me back it up real quick. Somewhere in here, you need to run and anticipate that tap from behind, and then get us a steal right there. All right, but like I said, you're getting better at the defense up there on top, and like I said, those are plays that I think you can. Now, this is what I want you to kind of think about and do. You don't want to be using all your energy. You got the ball trapped over here. You ended up on the baseline because y'all chased it. Blaze can run top. Let Blaze run top. You just fall into the wing on the side here and just start talking. But right now, you're thinking, oh, I'm the top guy, so I need to run up there. Don't use all your energy. Blaze is just as capable. And so anyway, I mean, you kind of twist your ankle right there. But like I said, you need to make sure that y'all could just be interchangeable. And even if it's DJ, it's like, hey, for this possession, he's going to finish the possession as the top guy so we can keep it rolling.